Sega. I do miss that soundbite. Kind of wish they still kept that, at least. The sign of quality. Here we go. Okay, take yourself back in time. Imagine it's 1999, and the last Sonic game that's come out was Sonic and Knuckles on the Genesis 5 years ago. And then you see this shit. Oh, see this come up on a trailer, and you're like, what game is this? Oh my god, Sonic Adventure DX. This is the Xbox 360 re-release. But look at this! This would fucking blow your goddamn mind to see this as back in the day. Like, what am I looking at? What are video games? Head bobbing. Can't hold on much longer, but I will never let go. Don't know how long this will last. Oh, will I count on others? The one shot of big-looking badass that exists. Oh my god, his eyes are green. Sacrilege. Yeah! Open your heart! That still gets me excited. This game's awesome, but like, here's where it starts. This is where it starts, because of course, we're out of the Genesis era. Like, that's the whole sticking point. That's the whole foundation of me doing these videos, because people say, oh, Sonic hasn't been good since the Genesis, all the 3D Sonic games are bad. And obviously, I don't have a lot of respect for that opinion, because you know what? It's a new opinion. It is not the opinion that existed when this game first came out. That is an incredibly recent judgment of this game, and it kind of infuriates me, because, like, when this game first came out, back in 1999, like, this is my fucking favorite Sonic game ever. This game fucking blew my mind. It was incredible. And I was not the only person who felt that way. A lot, like, this game, back before the internet became what it is as we understand it in our modern context, this, like, people would put this fucking up there. Like, this was only topped by its sequel. Which, you know, on the one hand isn't surprising, but on the other hand, you know, you can't say that about everything. This game was still, like, I still say this game looks fucking good. Oh yeah! This is happening. Huh? Like, man, fuck you, I still say this looks good. Fuck people who say, like, oh, the graphics don't hold up anymore. Like, for one thing,
what's up?
Judging graphics in old games by modern standards is fucking retarded. You shouldn't do that. That's stupid. Like, oh, this game that was made literally 20 years ago doesn't look as good as Uncharted 4. Like, yeah, hey, I guess black and white movies look like shit too now, right? Like, that's the fuck... Like, screw you, I just spent like the last 2 weeks recording all the classic Genesis Sonic games. This game looks damn good to me. Oh, he's the Matrix. Doesn't this predate the Matrix, actually? Look at that one cop. Look, he thinks he's a cool guy. He's still covering him.
Oh yeah, this could be fun.
That's Sonic's reaction. I still love that. This evil water monster that the cops don't know how to handle. Yeah, let's kick it. And B, like, fuck you, I still think this game looks good, even with modern context. Like, oh, the polygon count. Screw you. Like, oh, look at these out-of-context still images of a frame of animation where they have something of a goofy expression. Yeah, gee, when you take a single frame out of context, it looks kind of silly. Hey, look, Beauty and the Beast looks like crap because I took this one frame of Gaston with a little bit of a fucked up face and posted it out of context. Like, screw you, that, like, the entire point of the expressions is that you can tell what they're expressing. You can tell what the emotion they have on their face based on their expression is. And this game does its job. And yeah, it's kind of cartoony. Guess what? Sonic's a fucking cartoon. Why is that a bad... Like, you're saying that like, oh, this cartoon looks kind of cartoony. Like, that's supposed to be a criticism.
You big drip. Where you going?
You big drip. That always makes me laugh. What are you doing up there?
It's chaos! The god!
Why are you just standing on the roof watching this? Oh, nice new jacket, though. Like, let me fucking read some reviews of scores and critical reaction this game got back when it first came out back in the day. At the time of its release, Adventure was acclaimed by Arcade Magazine as a quantum leap forward in aesthetics and visual detail in video games.
Watch out! You're gonna crash!
Hyper said see? You can tell what it was thinking! I don't see what the big deal is. Esteemed by Hyper to exceed that which was possible on high-end PCs. Computer and Video Games stated that Sonic Adventure was one of the best games ever made, and marveled that many things you thought were impossible to see and experience in computer games are now here. Edge said that this game was amazingly detailed cityscapes, showed off the Dreamcast potential, comparing it to Sonic 64. Mario 64, Super Mario 64 role for the Xbox, for the Nintendo 64, and exclaimed that as a show-off of what the machine can do, Sonic Adventure is perfect. That is the critical reception this game got when it was first released back in the day. But now, all of a sudden, because some popular internet personality told them to think that this game is bad, suddenly now this game, like, it's this historical revisionism that bothers me. Back in the day when this game first came out, everyone was like, yo, this is the best game ever. Now, all of a sudden, now it's the worst game ever. And not because of actual, like, critical self-analysis and reassessment of their opinions on, like, oh, now looking at this with fresh eyes, this is what I actually think now that the hype has worn off. No, it's because they were told to think that. It's because it's, like, the cool opinion to have is Sonic is bad now. So it's in fashion to go back and say, oh, actually, this game was always bad. It's not, oh, I'm looking at it with fresh eyes. Fuck you. I'm looking at it with fresh eyes and I'm changing my opinion. It's, oh, fucking Aaron Faggot-Necked Hansen told me that this game is bad now, so I'm just gonna go and say it's bad now. Because that's what I was told to think.
God damn it.
It's Sonic the Hedgehog!
Oh, jeez, what game is this?
It's Sonic Adventure.
Excellent. Is it good?
No.
Okay.
It's fucking, it's horrible. Gee, look at this.
Oh,
look at this nightmare this game is.
What?
Oh, spooks. What the fuck is that?
Oh my god.
Like, fucking... That's, like, this is where I get mad. This is what it was all building up to. This is the part where I actually get kind of mad. Because that's the point. Like, I was getting through those Genesis games, because everyone knows that the Genesis games are still good, but it's the 3D games, this adventure game, that people have decided to change history and go back and say, no, actually, it was always bad. Gee, that wasn't what you said at the time. weird that now that the internet exists and the prevailing opinion is that the Sonic series is bad. Now all of a sudden you're saying that this game that you used to think was good, now you're saying it's bad to fit in with the crowd. Funny how that happens. Like, look at this moment! That's so fucking cool! Like, oh my god! When this fucking shit first happened back in the day when I first played this back in 1999 when it came out, that shit blew my goddamn mind. Fuck you. Monkey asshole. Like, this get like, I remember going over to someone's house, and I don't remember who they were. For some reason, I just got dragged to people's houses a lot by my parents as a kid, to just complete strangers' houses. And they had a Dreamcast, and they had like a demo disc with a whole bunch of Dreamcast games on it, and one of them was Sonic Adventure, and it had this first level on there, and I remember playing that shit for way too long. And people got annoyed with me, but fuck them, man. Man, I bought a Dreamcast for this game. And I guess that means, like, it accomplished its goal. Actually, it didn't accomplish its goal, because the Dreamcast fucking bombed. But I bought a Dreamcast for Sonic Adventure. And I did not regret that purchase. Because, like, one of the things that... I'll talk about that later. But... that's all it comes down to for me, it's frustration with this, like, the bandwagon hopping of Sonic hatred with all the 3D games, and I still say these games are just as good as they were when they came out. Like, are they perfect? No, obviously not, and I had my share of fucking imperfections to find about the Genesis games as well.
To panels 2 and 3. Jump as soon as you land on a panel, or else you'll fall.
Oh, gee, what do I do here? Oh, what? Oh, no! It's not like the game fucking told you what to fucking do with that tutorial that you had no choice but to be landed on. Like, I'm not sitting here saying this game is flawless and perfect and great. I'm gonna talk extensively about its flaws. I'm saying the hate-dom around Sonic has deluded themselves into saying that this game was always bad just because, like, and exaggerating its flaws to amplify, like, criticism about it because hating on Sonic is the cool thing to do now. And it's not true. It is what it is.
Yeah, not
and that's
bad.
where that was the entire, like, motivation behind starting to do these videos in the first place. Is the unreasonability of hatred that Sonic gets levied at nowadays. I'm not okay with it. What I am okay with is fucking Tails. Has it been that long? Yeah, 5 years. That is a little while.
What happened anyway?
I love those, like, kept you waiting, huh?
Just crash like that.
That was a test run using a new prototype propulsion system. It's got
Of all the heavens, somebody
Why
will...
not just use my plane, the Tornado?
See, it's Sonic's plane.
Thanks,
It's
but
not
you gotta
Tails'
check out the
plane.
newest power supply.
It's Sonic's plane. Tails just flies it.
Whoa! A Chaos Emerald!
He's freaking out because he's confused about why it's in the Super Emerald shape, despite being Chaos Emerald size.
This thing's got unlimited power, you know.
I
So
do
I
know.
figured, why not use it to power my plane? Supercharge! You gotta come over to my workshop, Sonic. I've got something I've gotta show you.
Gotta.
It's in the Mystic Ruins. The fastest way is by train. Let's go!
I forget how the 360 version worked when it came to voices, because I'm like, back when this came out on the Dreamcast, it had its whatever voice actors, but then when they re-released it on the GameCube with the DX version, they gave it the 4Kids voice actors. I don't know, it sounds like Jason Griffith to me, so I think they just put the 4Kids voice actors in with this re-release, I'm not sure. But yeah, not only are Sonic's eyes still green, which again, like, people complain about that. Yes, really. People complain about Sonic's eyes being green. Like I talked about, he had green eyes back when he became Super Sonic in Sonic 3. And also the Chaos Emeralds, despite still being the Chaos Emeralds, now are shaped like what the Super Emeralds are shaped like. That's one of those funny little incongruities of when the series started going 3D. Like, why aren't they the weird six-sided shape anymore? In Sonic 3, when they became the Super Emeralds, they became all giant, like to the point where Sonic could stand on them, on top of them, in order to go to the special stage. But for some reason, they shrunk, but they maintained the shape. I guess it's for the same reason that Sonic kept his fucking green eyes, despite not being Super Sonic anymore.
Should be around here somewhere.
Somewhere. Yeah. Aw.
If it isn't Sonic!
Look, it's a giant talking egg.
I am Dr. Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius in the world!
Whatever you say, Eggman.
So there's how they did it. That's how they solved the incongruity.
Big plan!
Because Eggman was always called
You're
Eggman
always up to no good.
back in
Now what
Sonic,
do you
back
want?
in Japan. Robotnik was an Americanization. Robotnik was something that the localizers came up with.
Or else what, you big loser?
So when they started localizing the 3D games, which had like a cinematic narrative to them, and also Sonic Team relocated to like San Francisco, they decided to like, let's fix that incongruity. Let's bring it in line. So Eggman is Eggman in Japan and in the West. So you don't have that weird ism of Vega and Balrog and Bison being different characters in every different region. So I think that's a pretty economical way to solve that problem. Where he's like, his name is Dr. Ivo Robotnik, but they call him Eggman as an insult, and after a while he just adopts it as a point of pride, you know? Like, Yankee used to be an insult. The Redcoats called us Yankees as an insult, and we said, yeah, we're Yankees, we're Yankee Doodle Dandy over here. Adopt it. It's like, yeah, you're gonna call me this insulting thing, I'm gonna wear it as a badge of pride. Besides, he's apparently always had a little bit of a thing for eggs. It's called the Eggmobile, the Death Egg. I think a part of him has always sort of embraced the egg theme of things here. You know what else I love about this game? This is like an actual, like, classic Robotnik boss fight, where he's got a big evil machine, and then you beat it, and it breaks off, and it's just the regular Eggmobile
Hey, I'll
again.
play with you some other
Just
time.
like in the Genesis games. It's funny how we kind of got away from that going forward in the series. It's funny how much of this game feels like a classic Genesis game, but in 3D. It's like we're at this weird blending point of the old Genesis games formula and creating the formula of what the 3D games would start adopting. Just having a seizure there.
Well, that wasn't so hard.
Aha!
Oh no!
Oh no! Once again, the variability of the Chaos Emeralds is size. Even within this game,
Chaos?
how big the Chaos Emeralds are is going to depend based on the seed. I seriously feel like they just took the, like, size.
Oh, isn't that the same monster I saw the other day?
Variable and just scale it up and down like based on what's convenient.
Oh, yes! It's just as the stone tablets predicted! His strength increases every time I feed him a Chaos Emerald. With all 7 emeralds in him, he'll be invincible and work for me. Together, we'll destroy Station Square. And on its ruins, I'll build Robotnik Land, the ultimate city, where I will rule it all. Come on,
That's his plan.
find another emerald. shall
That's
we?
seriously Robotnik's plan. He's like, I found this weird ancient stone tablet that said if I feed this weird evil monster 7 Chaos Emeralds,
No, wait.
it'll become all evil and destroy the world.
Emeralds, the monster
Sounds
can't
good.
transform. So, it's up to us to get the emeralds before Eggman does. Huh?
Like, where did he even... That seriously is, like... It seems weird for a man of science like Eggman to go, oh, I'm gonna rely on these ancient stone tablets and formulate my plan based on that. And again, I love how Eggman's plan consistently is, I'm gonna build a big Eggman land. I feel like Eggman has some repressed childhood traumas he's taking out on the world here. Damn it. Sonic can't do shit. Learn how to fly, dude. Everyone in this game can fly with Sonic. Yeah, we'll be coming back here. And like, where did he find Chaos anyway? Where did Robotnik come across Chaos? They never explain that. We see where Chaos comes from. We never see where Eggman, like, recruits Chaos. Why is Chaos doing what Robotnik says in the first place? Like, I guess you're just not supposed to think about it. I guess Chaos is like, hey, this guy's feeding me Chaos Emeralds, so I guess I'll pal around with him. I don't know. It just seems funny to me that Chaos is, like, following Eggman's orders. How did Eggman originally, like, get Chaos on his side in the first place? Oh, Tails, you fucking cheap asshole. Just flying. I think there's only like 10 stages in this game, but Sonic's campaign... honestly, Sonic's campaign is like, has the least amount of substance to it in terms of character. Because, obviously, Sonic's a pretty flat character. He's pretty... All of the Sonic characters are pretty fucking, like, two-dimensional, but Sonic's the most... doesn't really have going anything for him. Because he's a static character. He is as he's always been. Other characters get, like, some intrigue or a character arc
Head
to
straight
them.
up. You should be able to get out of the tornado.
Sonic kind of has the least to talk about with his campaign. And it's funny, because his campaign's kind of the longest, which obviously because he's the main character. But, like, this game only has, like, 10 levels or something like that, and Sonic is the only character who does all of the levels, and his versions of the levels are the longest, because he goes through, like, 3 sections of the level, like, consistently. There's, actually, like, I think Casino Night only has 2, but, like, so few characters even do Casino Night Zone. I think only like 3 do Casino Night Zone. So Casino Night only has 2, but I think at minimum every other level has like 3 sections to it, and Sonic does all of them. Whereas all the other characters go through like a slightly altered version of one of those sections for their campaign. Because, like, everyone's got different gameplay in this game, which I think is fucking awesome. This started something of a trend with the 3D Sonic games where you have different characters added into the mix with different gameplay. And again, that's something that got its start with Sonic and Knuckles. And really, to a lesser degree, Sonic 3 itself, since you could play as Tails. Again, everything people mindlessly hold against the 3D games, you can easily say the same thing about the Genesis games. Give me those rings. Like, what's a chief complaint people have about Sonic, the 3D games? Oh, Sonic and his woodland friends. There's too many different Sonic characters, and they all have like weird, different gameplay. I just want to play as Sonic. I just want to run fast. In fucking Sonic 3, you could play as Tails, who had different gameplay. He could fly around, and you could play as Knuckles, who wasn't as fast as Sonic. He couldn't jump as high as Sonic, and he had different gameplay in that he could like glide and climb walls and shit. Oh, but they still had enough similarities.
Not
Yeah, so do all the other characters. It's not a big deal. And like that's just with the main series of games. Like you don't even want to get into fucking like Knuckles Chaotix and shit, and all the spin-offs, which is also something that people hold against the 3D games for like being oversaturated and having a whole bunch of shitty spin-offs. Again, that's nothing new with the series. That's my fucking biggest problem with like people hating on the Sonic series is the double standards at play. Like the things they say about the 3D games, treating them like they're the worst thing ever, are flaws that you could say about any other series of games. But when it's Sonic, like people have nothing but the highest of standards. They expect nothing but perfection, for some reason. So like the same flaws you could hold against any other series, just because it's like the in thing to hate on Sonic now. Like there was what? That's getting ahead of ourselves. But imagine if like Metal Gear Solid 6 turned out to be bad, and it's going to be bad. Metal Gear Solid 6 is going to be fucking terrible.
Now you've got light speed shoes. Press and hold the action button to store up power. Once you have enough power, release the button and you can do the light speed dash. The light speed dash lets you race toward rings at light speed. As long as there's a trail of rings, you can go just about anywhere.
And as long as you charge up beforehand, which is thankfully something that, man, that's a lot of charge too. Thankfully, that's something that they fixed with the later 3D games where you don't have to charge up before doing it. Like, imagine if Metal Gear Solid 6 turns out to be bad, and it will. Metal Gear Solid 6 will be bad. And people suddenly decide to turn around and say, oh, the Metal Gear Solid series is bad now, and they were always bad. Look at Metal Gear Solid 1. Look at these shitty graphics, LOL, this game is terrible. And in fact, it was always terrible. Heralded as one of the best games of all time? No, I never said that. I never even liked this game. This game is bad, was always bad, though. Because that's what happened with Sonic. You say, like, oh, that's an exaggeration. That's what happened with Sonic! Like, this game was literally heralded as one of the best games of all time. And then, immediately, people turn around, like, the instant, oh, it's the cool in-crowd thing to say Sonic's bad now. Instantly, how quickly, how fickle people are.
Store power for the light speed dash.
And say, no, it was bad. And again, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying it's flawless. Of course not. It's just as good as when it originally came out. That's the frustration with me. The historical revisionism is what gets me about it. And so much, like, appreciation for like the historical value of what this game brought to the table gets lost because all people care about doing is shitting on it and saying, oh, look, it's a 3D Sonic game, that makes it bad. And there's no discussion. No one wants to have a fucking discussion about what this game, like what it did compared to other games at the time, and what it contributed to 3D gaming going forward from here. No, it's a Sonic game, so let's, like, crack jokes about how bad it is because it's a Sonic game. That's fair. That's great. That's pinball, baby. I love pinball. Man, pinball is one of those things. I even loved Sonic Spin Dash back in the day. Pinball, but you play as Sonic as the ball? That kicks ass. I mean, the Casino Night Zone always had, like, that influence of pinball to it. where you'd like jump yourself into the slot and then it'd play the slot machine. So this is really I really love how this is taking that concept from the Genesis games of the Casino Night Zone, the gambling zone, and adding the pinball element to it. That's such a nifty little idea. That's kind of unique to Sonic. I've been building up to this for a while, wanting to talk about the 3D games. All the time, I got through the fucking Genesis games in order to get to this, and now, I had so much I wanted to talk about that it's all kind of getting crammed in the door. It's like that episode of Simpsons where Mr. Burns has, every disease imaginable, and it's every disease is trying to get through the door frame. And now none of them can get through. I have so much I wanted to talk about that I want to talk about everything at the same time, and now I can't remember what I was talking about. And I'm just gonna end up repeating myself pretty often as well. Oh, come on, you can go. This is so cool too. Look at the environment we're being shot into here. Oh wait, never mind. That's another slot machine. That's right, it's a different slot machine. I haven't decided. I thought it would be a fun idea to do a video on knights, but I'm still not sure if I'm going to do that. That's fine. I think we have enough rings. Yep. Where's the other one? Over here. Here's the knight's pinball machine, which is fucking great. Yeah!